A violent spy thriller may have seemed a little passé, even for 2005, but Cold Winter came with some unique quirks which would earn it a cult following in the years since. The relatively unproven Swordfish Studios would attempt some genuinely fresh ideas for console first-person shooters, along with a story from comic writer Warren Ellis that give it some legs to stand on. While Cold Winter perhaps doesn't nail console shooting, with a rickety engine proving sometimes hard to stomach, the game nevertheless earns a look in through visceral gameplay and enough hooks to raise it above the average, though not up with the best, of the genre. Andrew Sterling, an SAS soldier turned MI6 agent, doesn't have the best of starts to a game. Captured in China and jailed in a political prison, he is abandoned by his intelligence service to avoid the situation becoming an international incident. But after being rescued by an old friend, Kim, he is recruited by Daniel Parrish to assist his security agency. What comes after is a twisting spy story, with good writing and plenty of memorable moments, as certain events, told in flashbacks, add context to the relations between characters. While some of the voice work is cringeworthy at points, it is a genuinely polished and compelling story with a dark yet likeable lead and enough action to keep you immersed. On the surface, Cold Winter is not unlike other shooters of the 2000s. Over 16 levels, players guide Sterling through a litany of shootouts as you travel between China, Egypt and the Himalayan mountains. While there's a multitude of objectives, most boil down to travelling between points while shooting everything in sight. Missions also contain side objectives, which are mostly rote collection tasks. Ranks are also given post-mission, though these seemingly give little reward. Cold Winter is a pretty run-of-the-mill shooter in terms of design, and the core shooting feels somewhat vacillating. The slight sway while shooting makes negotiating bullets not always foolproof. While headshots feel gratifying and there's a nice assortment of violent weaponry that helps add a visceral, Soldier of Fortune-esque edge to its combat, it's not up there with the best of its class.
Get some rest. See you in Hong Kong.
But despite these issues, there's some genuine wrinkles which spice up the action. The litany of interactive elements, ranging from flipping tables to create cover, picking up crates to clear a path, and opening drawers to find more items, give the world of Cold Winter a life unlike others of the time. Crafting plays a big role here too, as scrap items can be recycled to make explosives, lockpicks, and hacking devices, encouraging exploration and widening Sterling's arsenal. Hints for progression can be concealed in collectible intel, bodies can be frisked to collect more body armour, and a scant few optional objectives require a divert from the main path, adding further to the game. These little ticks may not sound revolutionary, but they are numerous enough to give Cold Winter an identity compared to lesser entries of this genre. Cold Winter, despite coming fairly late in the PS2's life, looks pretty average. Characters and enemies look a touch crude in geometry, the performance sees severe frame rate dips, and the levels border on the drab side. While not hideous, you can't help but feel it fails to be a looker. Though the cutscenes aren't stunning, they are pretty well directed and use some neat visual tricks. The sound has a bit more bite, especially the potent gunfire, harsh explosions, and squeamish gore. The music is fairly nondescript though, and the voice work ranges from serviceable to downright bad, but the better bits do serve the story well, particularly the occasional diatribes from Tom Baker.
But H.G. Wells did not imagine nuclear bombs or death camps. And so the boy became a pilot, found that there were to be no wings over the world, and that the shocked post-war world was a very cold place indeed.
Cold Winter is an average length shooter, taking under 10 hours to polish off. though it doesn't outstay its welcome. 4 difficulties are available too, with enough spread of challenge to offer something for various skill levels. More impressive is the multiplayer. While the online portion is long dead due to the PS2's online service being closed years ago, you can still partake in 4-player split screen and, surprisingly, add bots to the game too. Deathmatch, Capture the Flag and King of the Hill all make their presence felt, along with a couple of unique modes, the goofiest of which sees you vying to capture dismembered heads. The customization options are well worth exploring too, allowing you to change weapon settings, match length and damage output, including one-shot kills. It's rather enjoyable and a good addition to the experience. Cold Winter is an above-average shooter, which succeeds in spite of its gameplay, rather than because of it. The shooting feels slightly off, and the level design doesn't inspire, but the litany of little quirks brought to bear add up to a distinct whole. Potent weaponry, gory action, and interactivity to spare make it akin to popcorn fun. While the presentation leaves a lot to be desired, don't let its ugly looks dissuade you. Those willing to overlook a few flaws may find their next shooter in this overlooked FPS.
哎呀，你站起来！